Hello BookTube, it's Ben here from the HistoryFella channel. Going to do a book haul video. I'm going to split it into two because I've received today in the post a box of 20 books, and if I do 10 at a time then it makes the videos not so long and harder to get through. But I think I've got a problem at the moment. Just before Christmas, Pen and Sword said, "Oh, would you like to review these books?" And I said, "Yeah, that's great. I'll just send them." And they then contacted me afterwards saying they weren't going to send them out till the sort of end of January. And then I got another. They contacted me again in the beginning of January and said, "Would you like to review these books?" And I said, "Yeah, just send them." But of course, they won't send them out till the end of January, which was fine, because it meant I could get my to be read list right down. I managed to get it down to almost zero for once, and of course it gave me the chance to read some books that I'd picked up during the year that I hadn't got around to reading. But then all of a sudden at the end of January, I had this box turn up, or boxes, and it turned out it was 30 books altogether. So I've now been having to slowly churn my way through them, and of course Pen and Sword books have already sent me another box of books which arrived this morning, which is another 20 books. So the next month or two, or maybe 2.5 months, it's going to be very busy. I need to get some reading done. And although I'm enjoying not having insomnia at the moment, I could do with a bit of insomnia to help me get through some of the books. But anyway, I've got about 35 books I need to get read, so I'm going to be doing that over the next couple of months. But in this video, I'm going to do 10 books. I've got the pile here, you might be able to see them in the edge of the camera. So let's do the first 10, and then I'll do the second 10 probably, was it Tuesday today, probably Thursday. So I'll give it a couple of days for that to come out. Right, the first book is one of my favourite. It's part of the Images of War series. It's called Waffen SS, Dutch, Belgian and Danish Volunteers. Now I like these books because they're you get around about 200 rarely used photographs, but the supporting text is excellent. So they're kind of like an easy read, but you kind of get drawn into all the stories through the pictures. So I always enjoy an Images of War book. That's published by Pen and Sword Books, priced at $14.99. Alright, the next book is called HMS Turbulence, written by Stephen Wynne. Priced at £22, published by Pen and Sword Books. Now, to be honest, I'm presuming this is about one particular ship or submarine. Was Commander Linton a villain or hero? Whose decision was it to attack the Nino Dixio? Was the Nino Dixio attacked so as not to alert the Germans that their communications were being intercepted by the Allies? Where is the wreckage of HMS Turbulence? And this is a book full of eyewitness accounts. I quite like reading books by Stephen Finn. I think the last one I read was called The Shetland Bus, which wasn't actually about a bus. It was about a service between Northern Europe and the Shetland Isles, and it was kind of like a way of communicating between the Allies or sending men back and forwards across, and it was really interesting. So I quite like this author, so I'm looking forward to this one, and that sounds good. By the way, the first book I looked at, The Images of War, was written by Ian Baxter. Right, the next book is, well, this one looks like it's going to be a good one. You can tell I've only just got them out of the box. Britain's Industrial Revolution in 100 Objects. Written by John Broome. Published by Pen and Sword Books. Yep, priced at £25. Now, I've read a few of these books where it's sort of 100 objects about a particular subject, and they're always very good. Some of the objects that they talk about you never think about, and it's just full of loads of information rather than one particular battle or story or about an event. This comes up with 100. Key industrial and technological innovation and progress that turned the United Kingdom into the workshop of the world. Improvements in road, rail and water transport that revolutionised freight and passenger travelling times and experiences within the Britain and across the Empire. Political and workplace reform and resistance movements which aimed to spread the proceeds of industrial growth in a more equitable fashion. And I don't know why, but for some reason I love reading about the Industrial Revolution. Ever since I was a teenager, I think it was just being told that, you know, this was a time of period when workers came in from the agricultural lands and fields to find more regular work in the cities and the slums and that sort of thing. So you had mass movement of people into the cities during the 19th century, and I just find it fascinating. And then suddenly, you know, all the advances we made in technology and the workplace and that sort of thing. I just find that fascinating. Right, the next book is called Flight Lieutenant Tommy Rose, DFC, written by Sarah Chambers. It also says World War I fighter ace, record breaker, chief test pilot, and his remarkable life in the air. Sounds interesting. Published by Airworld Books and priced at £25. Now, I personally haven't heard of Thomas Rose, but I often find the people in the background, or those that don't get written about, are often quite rather more interesting or entertaining, things like that. So I'm looking forward to reading that one. The next one is called Sex Under the Swastika, written by Tim Heath. Erotica, scandal and the occult in Hitler's Third Reich. Published by Pen and Sword Books and priced at £25. And for Pen and Sword, it's a rather racy front cover. Now I've read about 5 or 6 of Tim Heath's books, and they're always good. So I'm presuming this is very much about the women, or German women, living under the Hitler regime in World War II. So it should be quite an interesting read, really. I don't know whether the pictures, you know, just put there to sell books or... Next we have Faces of the Few, The Battle for Survival in the Summer of 1940. Written by Dilip Sarkar, MBE. And that's published by Airworld Books again, and priced at £22. Dilip Sarkar often writes about like the Battle of Britain, World War II, the pilots, their lives, where they've ended up. He's just a really good writer on this particular subject, and it's always a good book. Often writes about personal accounts and interviews with the men, and it's just a good read. Certainly if you like the Battle of Britain, then you're bound to have heard of Dilip Sarkar. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 4 more. Right, oh, the one book I've been looking forward to reading this one, and it'll probably be the first book I read. This one's called War of the Roses. The people, places and battlefields of the Yorkists and Lancastrians, written by Paul Kendall. And actually I think Paul Kendall used to write the 100 Objects. Oh. Praise for other works by Paul Kendall. A highly recommended book by someone called a UK historian. I can't think who that is. Extraordinarily informative and inherently fascinating by Midwest Book Review. Really well written and illustrated by Tudor Blogger. And superb by someone called Books Monthly. Oh, so I've been quoted on the back of the book. I didn't actually realise that. Yeah. Well, I was obviously right. He has written good books. But I'm really looking forward to this one because I'm really trying to get into the War of the Roses. So I'm going to look forward to that one. The next one is a bit of an odd one because I don't actually remember offering to review this book. But maybe I was thinking of the wife at the time. This one's called Anne Walker. The Life and Death of Gentleman Jack's Wife by Rebecca Batley. Published by Pen and Sword Books, priced at £20. It doesn't seem the topic I'd be interested in. Lover, lesbian, lunatic. Anne could not or walk. Hang on. Anne could not or would not speak for herself at the commission that was to take away her autonomy and her freedom. Earlier in her life, her brother-in-law or cousins had spoken for her. Later in life, her wife, Anne Lister, took on that role. It is through Anne Lister's now infamous diaries that we see Anne most clearly, but it is a time we listen to Anne and let her speak for herself. Oh, we'll see. I might see if the wife wants to read it first. Right, the next one. The Battle of Reichwald, Rhineland, February 1945, written by Tim Saunders. The Battle of Reichwald, priced at £22, published by Pen and Sword Books. The vital opening stage of the battle for the Rhineland, one of the most difficult of General Horrocks' 3X Corps battles. A winter battle fought in appalling ground conditions for combat, logistic challenges of all kinds. How they fought with the expected US thrust from the south, Operation Grenade. With the Allies on German soil, the Germans were determined to defend the fatherland to the last. A battle fought across 3 distinct terrains characterizing the fighting: forest, open country and flooded ground. And don't forget, if you follow the link below this video, you can see links to the Pen and Sword website. And if you follow my particular links, you can often get through to cheaper prices. So it's well worth a follow. And finally, for this particular video, we've got Churchill as Home Secretary. Suffragettes, Strikes and Social Reform, 1910 to 1911. Written by Charles Stephenson. Churchill's role and responsibility during the fierce industrial disputes in South Wales. His actions with respect to the suffragettes on Black Friday and the Battle of Downing Street, plus his demonstrable ambivalence regarding female suffrage generally. How translating liberal instincts regarding penal reform into deeds caused him triple embarrassment. The Home Office response to the dim spectre of revolution which hung over Britain, and dealing with spy mania and the interception of mail. This is published by Pen and Sword Books and priced at £25. I fancied reading and reviewing this one because obviously the majority of the books you read about Winston Churchill involve World War II, so this seems interesting to me to see his role as Home Secretary. So that should be good. Looking forward to reading that one. And there we go, that's the first video done, the first 10. As I said, I'll do the other 10 books in the next day or so. Thank you very much for watching. If you've enjoyed the book, seeing the books, give the video a thumbs up. If you've got any comments about the books, then all comments are welcome. Did I say? Oh, mine's gone funny. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. And if you like history and books, then please feel free to subscribe, and there'll be more history and books coming up. And also, thank you very much for those who have shared videos or recommended me to other people, and all the new subscribers that have joined the channel. You're all very welcome, and it's good to see you, and I hope you enjoy the channel. Other than that, I hope you're all safe and well. Please take care of yourselves, and I shall see you very soon with some more videos. I'll see you next time.